Salvē, amici, and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at John chapter 4, verses 43 through 45. As you can see, we've finally reached a new section of the chapter, so we don't have to go flip through each of the pages at the beginning. Here is our rubric, everything we look for as we go through the text. Let's get started. Post duos autem dies exiit inde et abiit in Galilaeam, ipse enim Jesus testimonium perhibuit, quia propheta in sua patria honorum non habet. Cum ergo ven isset in Galilaeam exceperunt eum Galilaei cum omnia vidissent quae fecerat hierosul that very difficult to say word, hierosolumis in die festo et ipsi enim venerant in diem festum. And there we have it, in spite of all of the troubles. Post-prepositional phrase starting off right there. Duos with an omicron sigma. We know that this is going to be taking the accusative, which we should know if we know that preposition, which I don't. Shame on me. Autem, yeah, that's normal. Dies exit, there is our verb with it it. With the second I, we know that this is going to be the perfect stem, not sin. Third, singular, perfect tense, active and indicative. Prepositional phrase is going to end here with dies, epsilon, not epsilon, es. Did I call those omicrons and sigma? Just did the Greek. Brain is scrambled. Quite normal for me, as you know. But this is going to be singular. Duos tells us that this is the masculine version of dies, which I think is normal when we're talking about time with prepositional phrases. It becomes feminine when it's used, I think, as anything except a prepositional object. Anyway, singular. No. Plural. Masculine. Autem, normal. Now. And what 2 days is our writer talking about? Well, he's talking about the 2 days that Jesus spent with the Samaritans. He went out. And then inde, an adverb showing motion, away from. So from there or from that place. Et, and. Abiit, another double I. Know that this is going to be the exact same form. Don't need to parse it again. He, then this would be ab, from, showing separation. So exiting from the town specifically. And now this would be telling us he's leaving the region where the Samaritan village was. Entering into, prepositional phrase right there, in plus the accusative. That fits quite well with all of these prefixes. So the object, if there even would be one, of the ob in the verb, not that there would be, is just assumed. We should know just from the verb itself and from this prepositional phrase that that John is talking about the region. And I forget what the region of the Samaritan village was. As for you and for me, it's been months since we read that part. I should really know this gospel better since I've been reading it for years. Ipse enim telling us the reason for why Jesus is doing this. Enim is a postpositive, so it fits in this spot precisely, telling us that we've got a new idea happening right here. Ipse is our nominative, singular, masculine. Ipse, ipsa, ipsum. Jesus, normal form there. Jesus himself. Jesus himself what? Testimonium. Right there. Accusative, singular. And I think this is neuter. I should know the number of times we've seen it. Perhibuit, it right there for a third, singular. This is present. No, perhibuo. It is not present. It is the perfect tense because it perhibeo, I think it is. Perhibeo, perhibere, perhibui. I think that would be the form. So perfect. Yet another thing I should know after all this time. Active and indicative. Exact same form we've seen beforehand, translating emarturesen from the Greek. Then quia, introducing either a direct or an indirect statement. We normally translate that as that. Another way, as I think I've said, of doing it previously is this with a colon. Propheta in sua patria, prepositional phrase right there. That looks to be our subject. Honorem, em, accusative, singular, and masculine. Non habet, there is our verb. Et, habeo. Yeah. Third, disjointed brains. Oh my gosh. Disjointed thoughts. Which makes no sense to you. I'm just spouting out random phrase. Sorry. I looked at that and like, did I get the form of that wrong? Because of the E? And I was like, oh, there's an I in there. Completely derailed me. Present tense. What even is that? Active. Indicative. Negating it. So singular, that fits. This is exactly how Jesus would say it as a direct statement, so why not treat it as a direct statement? I think that's what I did for the Greek. Though with this sort of phrase, you can never really be sure, unless the context would tell us that whatever subject is said, if he said it to someone else about someone else, then putting it in the third person would tell us it's an indirect statement, when in the direct statement, he'd be using the second person of the verb. Sorry, there we go. If that makes any sense. So since he's not talking to a second person, third person could be either for the direct or indirect statement. Of course, in Latin, the indirect statement would be with the infinitive plus accusative. So, brush everything I said aside. I must be sleep deprived or something. I'd say maybe I've finally gone crazy, except we all know that happened a long, long time ago. Maybe I'm going sane. Back to what we were doing. Prophet, nominative, singular, masculine to the first declension. Patria, this is also going to be a feminine, sua, plus ablative of place where, singular, feminine. Already parsed that. I'm going to put this roughly in order. So there is all of verse 34. Moving on to 35, we have cum. Ergo is the wrong type of word altogether to be the object of a preposition. So instead we must have the cum clause. Taking a look ahead at winisset, we have t as our ending, isse as an addition to the stem, a subjunctive form. Therefore, in fact, cum clause. Venire, isset is going to be the pluperfect. Yeah, but first, third, singular. Isse is the addition that we add to the perfect stem for the pluperfect subjunctive, which you should know. Why am I telling you? Because repetition helps one remember all the things I cannot remember. Then the question becomes, which type of cum clause? Is it a adversative cum clause? Therefore, although he came. Is it a temporal cause? Therefore, when he came, or circumstantial? I've repeated so many times, I don't remember the... I'm not going to do it again. You know. If you've been watching, you know what I'm talking about. My own brain failure. Or is it that other one, causative? Therefore, because he came. And in this case, it's going to be temporal, since this is what's happening after this event right here. In prepositional phrase, Galileam, am right there, makes sense with when is it. We want a accusative of place to which. Exceperant with that erunt, we know that we have the perfect tense third person singular, and of course there we go again, and a change in subject, active and indicative. This word, it means to take out, to draw out, to exempt, and classically, and this is the rendering that we're going to use, it means to receive, but classically it only was used that way of inanimate objects. So what then likely happened is, from the time of Cicero, it's used to refer to inanimate objects, and then the vulgar people, the common people, start to use it more than just for inanimate objects, for people as well, and that use works its way into the common vernacular. By the time we get around to Jerome, here we have this, rather than a different word. So, into Galilee, somebody received eum, accusative singular, from is id, and it's masculine, going to be referring to Jesus. There he is. And then we here find our subject with that I, nominative, plural, masculine. So the Galileans specifically received him. And this would be, again, classically be understood either in a positive or a negative light. However, based on what comes after, the implication is going to be positive. And then we have cum with another cum clause. Omni is the wrong form to be with that. Isent, ent, we've got another pluperfect. And then it's most likely going to be the same type of cum clause showing time. Or, actually, pause that thought. We've got omnia, which must be our accusative plural neuter, with y referring back to it. When they had seen, this doesn't make sense for it to be a temporal cum clause, considering what's happening right here. We've got Erusolumis, is right there for the ablative plural in the loose sense, because Jerusalem is naturally a plural word in Greek and in Latin. I think previously I've said it's indeclinable, and then found out I'm very wrong about that. But neuter, so that we know that this is a place where, when they had seen in Jerusalem, but Jerusalem is not in Galilee, so temporal clause is wrong. Instead, must be causative. Fecerat, E-R-A-T, as our ending is the third singular off of feci, our perfect stem. So then we know that this is pluperfect. Perfect would use e ist it, and then pluperfect uses eram, eras, erat. Future perfect, ero, eris, eret, and so on. Active. Remember that with cities and countries and other named places, you don't always need the preposition with the word. Instead, the specific form that the name takes tells you its function. If you've seen Life of Brian and the Roman guards teaching Brian how to properly conjugate and decline go home Romans, then you are aware of the locative form. And this ablative form locative is place where, for Jerusalem. In prepositional phrase, da, festo, et, ipsi is the wrong form, so prepositional phrase ends right there. This is the ablative of day. Now I'm realizing that there's a note I need to put in the Greek. Shame on me. Ablative, day. Day in Latin, this is the mistake I made, is either masculine or feminine depending on what the function is. In Greek, it's only the one. That's as far as I remember. But we have masculine, we know, because of the adjective modifying da. So festo means what it looks like, festive. So this is singular and masculine, masculine with prepositions, feminine, when not speaking in prepositional phrases. And this festive day would be one of the feasts of the Jews. So we've got the Jewish religion. Not either. Feast of the Booths, Passover, Pentecost, and there are others. I don't remember the names of them all. But it could be any of these. Usually the New Testament talks a lot about the Sabbath, and we know that St. John is not afraid to use the word Sabbath for, Passover. Of course, St. John's not afraid to use the Sabbath, but Passover, I don't remember how often he refers to the Passover by its name. At least once, I would think. But anyway, a unspecified feast day, when all the Israelite men were required by the law, the Torah, to go to Jerusalem to sacrifice. And ipsi nominative, plural, masculine, enim. So since we've got enim, we don't need et, connecting these two clauses together. Instead, et must be functioning as something else. Our two other common options are even, emphasizing, or also. And I think also is going to be the one that makes most sense. Also, note, enim is third position in this clause, which I think possibly even the last Latin video, I talked about how you don't often see that. But what we've got going on here is enim, it appears enim can't follow et, or the writer doesn't allow for that. So instead something must become before enim, and that's going to be our subject, confirming yet again that the Galileans are our subject, changing from the third person singular Jesus. So ipsi had to be at the beginning to mark the change of subject from this subordinate clause, this relative clause, and that pushes enim behind ipsi. Now et I think could have appeared after enim. Anyway, this is finally one where we see enim in the third position of a clause. Neither of these are postpositive, so it's not a postpositive pushing out a postpositive, which is what I wanted to see, but it's still that. For also, they, when erant, E-R-A-N-T, off of the perfect stem, so this is a pluperfect again, third plural, in prepositional, whatever that thing is, in the feast day, em just tells us that this is taking accusative. This could be showing us purpose, or it could just be showing us the same as it did with Jesus. He came, they came to. He came to, they came to. Well, there we have it. For some reason, my brain is completely scrambled today. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and let's look at this in its own context. Now, after 2 days, he went out from there and went from into Galilee. From, of course, implying the region of Samaria. That's what it is. For Jesus himself gave witness that prophet in his own fatherland does not have honor. Therefore, when he came into Galilee, Galileans received him because they had seen all things which he had done in Jerusalem. So, positive reception. In feast day. For also these had come to feast day. There we have it. Again, thank you, and I hope that you have a very good day. Wale.